All right, people, we are back for season 4 of Harley Quinn on Max. And actually, today with this premiere, we have the first 3 episodes available to us, now streaming on Max. And of course, from here on out, we'll be getting weekly episodes on every Thursday up until the finale on September 18th. So it's another 10 episode season here, and we got these first 3 to talk about. Of course, there will be spoilers in this video. If you haven't seen it, go check out these first 3 episodes on Max. But for now, let's go and jump into this and break down the first 3 episodes of Harley Quinn season 4 on Max. Okay, so really the basis of this season is Harley and Ivy are both starting new careers in this season. We have Harley, who is joining the Bat family, and we have Ivy, who is now not only joining the Legion of Doom, but now has become the CEO and the leader of the Legion of Doom. So let's start off by talking about that, because obviously she gets in there and nobody likes her. It's going to take a lot of time for her to adjust to being the CEO and to being a leader in general, because she walks in there with these whole environmentally friendly plans, and all of the Legion of Doom is like, ew, no, you're a woman, we're not going to listen to you. And there's a lot of backlash. So she, throughout the episode, obviously learns to take control and show those other villains that she is not going to mess around. I mean, she clearly makes that clear at the end of this episode when they stand up against her, and then she's like, all right, you know what, I'll really show you why I'm the CEO, because she truly is the most powerful person in that room. But while we have that going on, like I said, we also have Harley adjusting to her new career of joining the Bat family and actually now being a hero. And that's kind of her big conflict through this season, is that's something she has to get used to. You know, she's used to that kind of just let loose, fun, do whatever you want villain life. But now she has to follow rules. Now she has to be good and be heroic. Now instead of committing the crimes, she's the one that's stopping them. But the thing I liked about this episode was that we brought Professor Pig into the fold. This was really cool, especially because it's kind of like what we did last season when we had that team up between Harley and Batgirl. Kind of the start to this whole Bat family idea for Harley is when they took on another classic Batman villain, the Mad Hatter. So now in this season, we're taking on Professor Pig, and he's just a really cool, kind of obscure Batman villain. But I always love when he gets used in media like this. And used so well here as well. Just so creepy and disgusting. And with his Dollatrons, I think those were greatly represented here. And just, again, really disturbing. I loved the whole storyline. It was really funny with Nightwing and his butt and all that stuff. So I really enjoyed seeing that. But of course, the episode ends with Harley, she saves the day, she saves Nightwing and everything, but she also brutally murders Professor Pig, which is, that's pretty frowned upon by the rest of the Bat family, because that's literally Batman's number 1 rule: don't kill. It's the don't kill rule. That's kind of the hero thing. You don't kill the villains no matter how bad they are. You take them down, you stop them, and you toss them in Arkham Asylum. But nope. Not really. Not in this case. Harley is like, yeah, no, I'm a villain, so I'm just going to kill him. And that leads into episode 2, where we have Harley actually kind of being, she kind of shadows Alfred, and Alfred takes her under his wing and kind of teaches her the way of the hero. And so that was really cool to see. Alfred is really interesting in this season because, of course, Master Bruce is in prison, and when he actually visits his master in prison, he sees that he's basically been replaced. So Bruce has his own new butler in prison named Alvin. So obviously Alfred is quite jealous about that. So it's kind of funny at the end of the episode, he gets himself thrown in prison on purpose and then ends up being not even put in the same prison as Bruce Wayne is. So not sure if we'll see more of that in the season, but I definitely thought that was funny. We also have in this episode, Ivy is working with Talia al Ghul. That was interesting. That was okay. But definitely episode 2 here was the least interesting of the 3 episodes for me. I mean, it was all right, but I definitely preferred the other 2. Episode 3 was definitely my favorite of the 3, because in this episode, Harley and Ivy, they decide to go on a little vacation. They go to Lexor Hotel in Las Vegas. And this place is crazy because it's basically this giant hotel resort for all the villains. So you get to see a bunch of these Legion of Doom members here. Some other characters, like characters we saw last season, pop up again, like Caught King and Codpiece. Of course, Snowflame has a pretty big role in these first couple episodes as well. As I talked about him in the trailer breakdown, he's basically a cocaine man, and you can tell from these first 3 episodes. So Snowflame was fun to see here. I really enjoyed seeing Ragdoll even for a little bit there. That was really cool to see. I believe we saw Weasel. And Starro. Starro was an interesting addition. Does Starro like run this hotel or something? I'm not really sure, because like at the bottom of that, like, you know, they got like the basically arena and like the duels going on, and then at the bottom of the pit is the giant Starro, and then you have the little Starro tiny starfish kind of walking around being the masseuses and the butlers and maids of the hotel. So I thought that was really funny, and that was cool to see. We do also have King Shark in here. Of course, he comes back for a role this season, and he first of all gets a job as the IT guy for the Legion of Doom, and then on top of that, his wife Tabitha, of course, they got married last season, and it's definitely an arranged marriage. She doesn't even like him, but you know, she puts up with him, and she's now pregnant. So they're expecting 9 babies, and this is the episode where she ends up giving birth on stage during a magic act. It was hilarious, seeing everybody's reaction, seeing how it was done and everything. And then the episode, at the end of the episode, she's like, all right, I'm going back to the ocean. And then of course, King Shark is like, oh man, I want to co-parent these kids. And she's like, oh, I'm just taking the firstborn. You can have the other 8 of them. So King Shark's now going to be a single father for the rest of the season, it looks like. And that'll be interesting, especially when he's working at the Legion of Doom. Like, he's going to have to be taking care of his kids at the same time. So that'll definitely be really funny, lend to some nice comedic moments there. But the big thing here, like I said, this is like a hotel for villains. So Harley is kind of feeling out of place. And some villains, specifically Snowflame, are calling her out for that, because they're like, you're a hero now. You don't belong here. The Harley I used to know wouldn't be like this. So that's when she creates this alter ego, this alternate identity, because of course she sees like, oh, Bruce Wayne and Batman, they're different people. Even though they're the same person, they're different people, or at least they're seen as different people. So that's why he's allowed to have these 2 different sides to him. So she's like, what if I do the same thing? So she puts on this pink wig, and she becomes Hargret. And she basically goes back to being her fun, crazy villain self, and, gets into a bit of a trouble there, until her heroic side needs to come out once again to stop a little bit of a conflict between Poison Ivy and Clayface, because Clayface is apparently, since last season, has become this super famous performer and singer in Vegas, and he's got his own show and everything, and Ivy never responded to any of his emails, so when they go to Vegas, they can't get tickets to his show. He's like, oh, too bad, if you just replied to one of my emails, you could have had tickets, but whatever. And so Ivy and Clayface end up getting into this big fight, and then Harley is the one that has to end up breaking it up, and again she swoops in, and she is the hero of the episode. And we end the episode with a pretty big moment for Harley, because throughout this episode we see that Batgirl has been calling her, and she's like, oh, she texts her like, oh, I know this is a big decision to make, and we're all on the edge of our seats like, oh, what's this big decision she has to make? And we find out that Harley is going to be moving in with the Bat family, which obviously that's a big change for this relationship with Harley Ivy. We know they're not going to break up. The showrunners have made that very clear, but I do enjoy seeing the kind of struggles of the relationship and see how they're going to persevere and grow through these changes without letting them hurt the relationship. Because, I mean, obviously they're both in very different places. One is a hero and one is a villain, so that's going to make it very tough. But Harley moving in with the Bat family, I think, is going to be interesting. I'm excited to see more of that, more of the Bat family dynamic. Harley living in the Bat cave, obviously that'll help her kind of really dive even deeper into this whole heroic persona of hers that she's now developing. So I think that's going to be really cool. But yeah, guys, that was The first 3 episodes, the premiere of Harley Quinn Season 4 on Max. Again, it was a great start to the season. I really enjoyed these episodes, and I'm excited to see where things go from here. But for now, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about Harley Quinn Season 4? Which of these 3 episodes was your favorite? So, anyways, guys, of course, I will be doing weekly episode reviews and breakdowns for Harley Quinn Season 4. But for now, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.